Hey, so in this video, we're getting ready to find the area of some shaded regions. Now in this picture right here, you can see I have a big, huge circle, and then inside of it is a square. And when I'm talking about the shaded region, I'm talking about the gray part here that you can see. And it might be helpful, let me show you guys, like if I just kind of make a whole big circle here, make it a little bit larger. All right, and let me just fill that in now, kind of a light gray color. So the entire thing here is filled in now, and basically what I'm saying is if there was this square that was on the interior and I removed the area of this square, so I'm going to let the square be filled in with a white color now. See how the shaded region that's left over is the circle minus the square. So that's all we need to do here for this one. We're just going to take the area of a circle and we're going to subtract the area of this square, and we do that, those little four pieces will be left over. Okay. Now we said we're going to take a square, or excuse me, a circle. So we're going to take the area of a circle, and then from that we're going to be subtracting the area of a square. Put a big minus sign in between these. So we've got the circle minus the area of the square. Now for the circle, we know pi is 3.14. And the radius of the circle is right here. It's this 7. So the radius is going to be a 7 squared. And then we're going to simply subtract this white square, so the 9.9 squared. With the rectangle that's in here, you could just do length times width or base times height, but you might remember that on the formula sheet, there's also for a square, because it's the same side, it's just side squared. So it doesn't matter if you want to do 9.9 times 9.9 like length times width, or think of it as side squared, it's the same thing. All right, so now let's bust out our calculator. So for the circle, we've got 7 squared is 49, and I'm going to multiply that now times pi. So this is the area of the full circle. The full circle is 153.86. Now we're going to subtract my 9 by 9 square. So let's do 9.9 squared, which is a 98.01. So 98.01. All right, and now if we subtract the 2, we got 153.86 minus the 98.01. So we're at 55.85. 55.85. And this was meters, so square meters. Total area, 55.85 square meters. So when finding the area of a shaded region, chances are you're going to need to use subtraction like this. You might remember from our composite figures that we actually took shapes and we would break them down. And once you find the area of all the little pieces, you then add these things up. Kind of like over here, you would add the semicircles plus this triangle. So for composite figures, addition is kind of the main operation. And now for area of shaded, you're definitely going to be needing some subtraction, okay? All right, we have another example down here, and I just want to show you guys kind of how to read this shape. So again, to find the area of this shaded region, it's kind of like the tire part. So we're going to take the whole area and then we're going to subtract this white circle. So we've got pi r squared for the big circle, and then we're going to subtract this little white circle. And when we do that, it'll leave this shaded kind of tube tire part left over. So for the big circle, we've got pi is 3.14. And for the big circle, the radius is from here to here. Now this much of it is a 5. And this much of it is 3. So the entire red line here, y'all, is an 8. Just be careful reading that. The entire red line here is an 8. All right, now we're going to subtract. Let's take a look at the smaller one. The radius of this smaller white circle is the 5. So we're going to find the area of the big circle minus the area of the little circle, and that'll give us kind of this tire part left over. All right, so for this, I'm going to do 64 times 3.14. Again, I know 8 squared is 64. All right, so that's a 200.96, and that would be for the whole big main thing, 200.96. And now we're going to subtract the area of this white circle, so 3.14 times 25. All right, so we get a 78.5. And I think a lot of you know this trick in the calculator. I'm going to keep that there and just subtract the 200.6 and just ignore the negative. Cool, so 122.46, 122.46. And over here, this was centimeters, so 122.46 square centimeters. All right. So for area of a shaded region, like I mentioned, chances are you're going to need subtraction. And here you just see a big circle minus the square. Here we see a circle minus the circle. Now for the next page, these first two that are right here, let me actually, I think I had to do this too on a previous video. Let me just move it so we can see what you guys are looking at here. Move these over here. Cool. Okay. So for these, there's going to be a Google form for you to try these on your own. I'm not really going to walk you through them. I'm not going to have any official note taking in the video here. You're just going to turn over and try these on your own. I will admit though, I get a lot of questions about number 1. So I don't want to put any hints in here too much for those of you who really can try it. But just be mindful of the fact that if I'm giving you the 32 all the way across, you could use that information to talk to me about the diameter or the radius of the circle that you might need. So that's just a hint right there. If the red line is this 32, it would be the same that I could show right here, which now shows the diameter all the way across in the circles. So that's just kind of a hint there for that one. And then for this one thing I want to point out is this 4. The 4 is the entire radius all the way across. So if it was kind of like the problem we previously did, there'd be a 2 here and a 2 here just for this little part, and then the 2 for this little part. And then the entire thing here is a 4. All right, other than that, I think that you guys should be okay trying on your own here. And that concludes this video. Don't forget to put these answers into a Google form. Thank you for watching.